Hello, does it look like we've got everybody with us?
Yes, so I think we've got Nathaniel and Sophie now both with us as guests, I think.
Wonderful. Nathaniel and Sophie, welcome to our first ever virtual open evening. So you're part of history here with Furness College. Thanks for coming along tonight. So we're hoping to give you a really good overview of what we can offer you in terms of next steps and also the kind of experience you might have at Furness College. So my name's Catherine Farrow. I'm the Marketing and Communications Manager here. And also in the chat, we've got Simon Irvin, who's head of area for business, and we've got Claire Croskery, who's one of the lecturers, and we've got Ebony Ambrose as well, who's perfect at answering all of your finance questions and questions about how to apply to Furness College to study higher education with us. So tonight will just be a little bit of an overview from me, and then a course overview from Simon, and then we'll hand over to Ebony for some information about how to apply, and we'll take questions at the end. So if you can mute your microphones for now, we'll take any questions at the end. You might want to pen and paper to scribble them down, or you might want to ask in the chat at the side. We're recording this as well. It's as much for our own training purposes, with it being the first one, as for anything else, but we might use it on social media as well, so just to make you aware of that. So these are some of our graduates from last year, and hopefully by joining us tonight, this is your first step on this road to getting one of those great hats and scrolls and a big celebration at the end of all of your hard work. So we had 150 students graduating with us in 2019, and then we had about 200 due to graduate this year. We've put the graduation ceremony on hold, but we will be having a celebration at some point for them. So a little bit about Furness College and why it's a really good place to come and study your degree. So one of the things we acquired recently is the TEF Silver Award. So it's a little bit like, if you think about how Ofsted is the mark of success for schools, so TEF is the mark of success for higher education, and we achieved a silver award, which is the highest rated award in Cumbria, and they recognise the really high quality of the teaching and learning that we offer at Furness College, and they also said that we consistently exceeded their own national quality requirements, so we were really pleased with that. So there's various ways to come and study with us and different entry points, no matter what your educational background. So from sixth form or from an employer, you can come to study at Channelside at any point in your career, and we offer a real range of qualifications as well, right through from higher national certificates and then on to foundation degrees, and then you can do a degree and an honours degree. We also do higher apprenticeships and degree apprenticeships, and you'll see down the side that these are our university partners. So we work with Lancaster University, UCLan in Preston, University of Cumbria and Edexcel. So some of the reasons our students like to come and study the higher education at Furness College is that we do have a really good track record of teaching degrees. We've got 30 years experience of teaching students like you and getting you onto the next level. It's an opportunity for those who are in employment to learn while you are at work as well, and so that can reduce the costs of getting that degree that you want to be able to get on with your next step of your career. We've got really good industry accreditation, including the IMEC organisation. And one of the really big things that our students say to us about what they like about college is that we have smaller group sizes. So the groups are friendly, and you'll meet new people who'll become your new network, and they're all very supportive of each other as well. I talked a little bit before about courses that fit around the workplace. I think you're both at sixth form, so you've not yet started that, although you might have part-time jobs. But Furness College, it has a diverse range of entry points, so you'll get to mix with different people from different backgrounds, and that can be really useful in terms of enriching your experience, because you'll benefit from other people's shared experience coming to college. We've got reduced transport costs if you live locally. You don't have to get on a train or on a bus or any other public transport to go away to study. And we've got good support here as well, and that's something that comes out every time we have a survey. We have sort of strong set of personal tutors and really good additional support for you if you need it. Rest assured, our training resources all meet industry standards, and as I said before, last year there was 150 students graduated with us across our various different courses. We've got really strong links. We're part of the Barrow community, and we're really big part of the business scene as well, and we work with over 800 employers. Excuse me. So one of the really good things about this is that we can help you on your journey to get to where you want to be, and we can offer a range of work placements and things that are linking you in with employers as well. So that's my bit, that's my introduction. So over to Simon. I'm not sure if Rob's here, but Claire's here as well, and they'll talk to you a little bit about project management and computing.
Hello. Yeah, as Catherine said, my name's Simon Irving. I'm head of business and computing at Furness College. And as a lecturer, which I don't do as much of as I would like these days, my specialism is project management. Things are changing slightly over the next couple of years as far as the courses that we're going to offer. I think I'm right from the forms or the information that Catherine gave me that you both, I think, are first year sixth form students. If that's the case, things might be slightly different for you by the time you guys are ready to think about taking on HE. Starting in September this year, as far as we're starting what we call a new project management degree, and it's purely project management. And the reason for that is quite simple. It's because of what industry wants in our local and even national area, but definitely in the south of Cumbria. And I'm talking predominantly about BAE Systems there. We've got about just under 100, or we will have this year, BAE degree apprentices that come to us for their project management degree. And we're starting a non-BAE project management degree, foundation degree in September. And I think we'll probably have somewhere between a dozen and 20 students on that. Now, that particular one, which is what we're going to talk about now, which is one that's run on a part-time basis, because all the students that will be coming on that course, most of them have full-time jobs. So we do that at night school, 1 or 2 nights a week, depending on which part of the academic year we're in. With it being that way, if you go away to university and follow the normal path, you would do a 3 years honours degree, and you will do 6 level 4 modules in your first year, 6 level 5s in your second, and finally 6 level 6s in your third year. That gives you enough credits to graduate with a full honours degree. With us doing it part-time, going down the part-time route, rather than doing 6 level 4s in your first year, you'd do 4. Then in the second year, you do the remaining 2 level 4s and the first 4 of your level 5s, and so on and so forth. That's going to mean, it means it's going to take you 3 years to get your foundation degree, which is effectively your level 4 and level 5, and then probably another 18 months to top up to a full honours degree. You can go all the way on that journey with us here at Furness College. Not sure whether you're interested in computing or not, because within computing, we do those routes as well, but we also do a full-time route in computing. So in other words, you can stay as a full-time student and you can complete your honours degree in 3 years. If, as I suspect, you aren't ready to start this September, it's the September after, I'm pretty certain that there will also be that option of a full-time route for the project management degree. I don't want to confuse. I don't think there's anything else I really need to say at this point, other than predominantly we take on, our BAE Systems take on a lot of degree apprentices. And a lot of the students that we have on our current business and project management degree, which is finishing this year, but the new PM one starts in September, a lot of them have aspirations to get into BAE Systems as a trainee project manager. And of the 6 students that I mentored and taught some project management to for the last 12 months, unofficially, 4 of them have got interviews in the next 3 months for the degree apprenticeship at BAE Systems. So it's definitely a career of choice at the moment. And the amount of people that we have on the course is testament to that. That's it really, as far as I'm concerned. Details aren't up on the website at the moment of the project management degree, because we're waiting for the official paperwork from the university, which should be through in the next couple of weeks. So keep your eye peeled on that. But if you've got any more questions, or you have any questions, either the remainder of this year or next year, or you want to know about project management, please don't hesitate to contact me or any members of my team. Do you want to add anything to that, Claire?
No, I mean, I think that's obviously it's a good overview. I was just going to give a little bit of my experience of being a tutor. So for the past 2 years, I've taught 1 night a week on the existing business and project management degree, as Simon said. And I just wanted to echo some of the key points that have been made, really, just from my own experience. So at the moment, I have a class that's just finished last week, actually, and it had about 9 members in it. You've got people who are still very much early careers in the sort of late teens, early 20s, who maybe didn't go directly into university but have seen higher education as a step for them, right the way up to people in the 40s and 50s who've realised that, you know, they want to get back into education, they want to upskill. There's a lot of people on the degree and across the years that I've taught who do work at BAE, but there's a lot that work for the NHS, supply chain companies. There's people who've just started a family and have wanted to get back into education. And I've seen a lot of people upskill and progress in their career. And I think it's kind of in no small part really to the fact that they've met other people, they've developed the confidence, they've developed the knowledge of the subject. And it's just generally a really supportive atmosphere. You know, there's a lot of group chats going on and there's a lot of group work within the sessions, and people do really develop a sort of bond together when they study with us. So I've seen some really nice friendships develop within it as well. So it's nice from a sort of socialising and a networking point of view as well, because you are going to be meeting and studying alongside a lot of different people, a lot of different backgrounds, and having that variety of different backgrounds and experiences really brings something to the class. And I think particularly if you were first year at uni and a lot of people had just come either straight from college or from a gap year, you're all similar in terms of life experience. But when you've got people who've been in industry, who've had several career changes, have seen the way technology's changed and things like that, it really adds something to that discussion. So as you're sort of starting off your higher education journey, you'll be learning alongside your fellow students, and you'll be learning from them as well as just learning about the course and from the tutor. So I would really recommend it. There's a great support system at Furness College as well. We are absolutely mindful of the pressures that people are under, you know, whether it be studying part-time and working part-time or full-time. People have other commitments, they might have family commitments, financial constraints. People might sometimes struggle to get in for a certain time, and we do try to be as flexible as we can to accommodate that. Outside, I mean, at the moment, obviously, we're not fully opening due to the ongoing situation with COVID-19, but we've got a lot of resources there and a lot of resources online as well. So we've found it fairly easy to kind of transition into this blended online learning. So if you do miss a class, or if you do find it difficult to, you know, come half an hour at the beginning or the end or whatever it may be, you've always got the option of catching up online or communicating with your tutors and kind of booking in support slots with them. So it's a great degree to teach. The students seem to enjoy it as much as I do, which is great. So yeah, if it is something you're thinking about for your career, I really would consider it. And it's something obviously that, you know, you're familiar with the area and with the college as well. So if that's a step you feel that you want to take, I think doing that at Furness College would be a good option for anyone really. So I think I'll pass back now to the next section of the presentation.
Yeah, so this is Ebony's chance to talk to you a little bit about how you might apply and also about how you might fund your studies as well, because I know that's something that's really important for everybody.
Okay, so I'm Ebony and I'm the careers advisor at Channelside campus. So just kind of going a little bit back to what Claire and Simon have been talking about, I'm actually one of the business and project management second year students this year, and you know, working full time and doing the degree part time's worked really well for me. Someone who just kind of wanted to work and sort of start living independently and everything. You know, I worked for 4 years and then I started my degree, and it worked perfectly for me. One of the biggest things is getting the support from staff. So I've literally just had Claire for my last module, and you know, the support couldn't have been better, you know, from her and from other tutors. So Rob, he was my full tutor for the first year, you know, and the brilliant, totally understanding. I had a year break to do another course, but I was able to pick this one back up, and it just fitted in perfectly with my career. So you know, as Claire said, strongly recommend sort of, you know, looking into studying here, whether it be full-time, part-time. You know, if you're like me and you prefer a smaller setting rather than lecture halls, it's definitely worth doing. Okay, so that's just sort of my take from a student as well. So I'm going to talk to you now about applying for the course itself. So there are 2 ways you can apply. There is the UCAS website, which, being first years at Rating Lane, I'm sure you're familiar with, and you've heard discussions regarding personal statements, getting UCAS applications started, things like that. So you'll do a lot more focus on that in your second year, especially from September. With UCAS, you can only apply for full-time courses for Furness College. If you're thinking of studying part-time, you would need to apply on the Furness College website. But for full-time, you've got the option of both the UCAS site and Furness College. Okay, so what happens is we receive your application, and we would then arrange an interview with the course tutors, which usually for higher education takes place around sort of March, April time. We tend to sort of focus on getting majority of the HE teaching done, and then we start focusing on the new applicants for the next academic year. So just something to be aware of, applications for higher education, if you're applying through the college website, we'll start taking them from end of November, beginning of December, once we've had our open evenings. Applications on UCAS, they have like a different sort of start time, but that's irrelevant. I think I know they have a cut-off point for the majority of offers sometime in January. I need to double check the date of that, but we take applications on our site right up until September. So if you have got any queries regarding UCAS, please get in contact with me, or you know, if you're in contact with Sam at sixth form, I know she has a lot of information about that as well, so either one of the 2, that's fine. Okay, so regarding the cost of higher education courses, roughly your major universities, your bigger ones, around 9,000 a year, and we kind of offer between 4,000 to 5,000 a year for part-time, and then if it's full-time, it's around 6,500. It all depends on the amount of modules you do in a year, so that's why part-time's cheaper, but as a whole it works out the same amount of money that you would spend over the duration of the full course. Okay, so not only can you apply for your student finance, there are also student bursaries that you can apply for, but just before I go into that, I'll talk about the student finance for the fees. So how that works is you apply to Student Finance England, and what they do, they act on behalf of the government. So you will apply to them, we'll give you the information you need on your fees, so you'll get all that sent out along with your offer letters. What happens from there is when you apply, it takes up to 6 weeks for your loan to be approved. The application itself takes about 15 minutes to complete, and they just need to know your basic information, what course it is you want to study, where you're studying, and they will also want to see some kind of evidence and proof of identity. So we provide the loan letters and your offer letter that you can use in terms of your evidence of being offered a place. In terms of your identity, you have 2 options. You can either apply with a valid passport, which we strongly recommend students doing because it's a lot quicker. If you don't have an in-date passport, you can apply with a birth certificate and a counter signature. So it's got to be someone you've known for more than 2 years, who has got a valid passport and who's in a professional job. So it could be a tutor at sixth form, it could be a doctor, it could be a lawyer, just someone who is in a professional role. The reason I say I would do the passport if you can is it does take a long time, and Student Finance are very specific about what they require as a counter signature. We've had a lot in the past who it's taken up until November to sort. I know with mine, I was in the process of getting a new passport and it didn't come in time, and I had a bit of a nightmare with mine, but once I got my passport, it was just plain sailing. So that's something to be aware of as well. So that's your Student Finance for your fee, for your course fees. Now, if you are a full-time student studying a university course, you can get maintenance grants and maintenance loans. This isn't something that's applied through, you don't apply for that through the college. This is something completely separate that you would apply for in student loans. So if you want information about that, I'm more than happy to send that out to you on an individual basis. It's not sort of the same for everybody. It does depend on individual circumstances. So household income, so if you live with your parents, it'll be based on their income. If your circumstances are different, you might live independently. There's all these different factors. If you've got disabilities, there's all other loans that you can get to support. Now, with the college, we do offer a higher education bursary, which is for students whose household income is under 23,000. So what that is, you can get help with books, equipment, things like that you need for your course, any kind of expenses, we'd cover that for you. You can also get termly payments. So I will need to double check the figures, but it's like around £1,000 a term, or I think it might be 500 each for the first 2 terms and then 1,000 for your last one. I will double check that with my colleague because I know that's just under review at the moment. But like I said, that's something that you would apply for in college. So if you did want more information about that, we can provide that for you. So if you do have any questions regarding the finance, email into info@furness.ac.uk. That comes to student services, so that would come to myself. If you had anything for Simon or Claire or Catherine, we would forward that on. So just because it's on the screen, it's an easy one to remember. Okay,
thanks, Ebony. That's great. So that's not only sort of your summary of how you get your finance and apply, but she's given you a bit of a snapshot of how she studies as well. So thanks for that, Ebony. That's great. So you've heard from us and you've heard from Ebony and you've heard from Claire, who's a tutor. Claire is also studying at college as well. But here's just a couple of comments from what our students have said to us. So Ashley started with us on a level 2 and then's progressed right through to a BA honours degree in her area, which was education, I think. So she said she thought it might be quite scary starting doing a degree at Channelside, but she soon realised that it wasn't half as bad as she thought, and then she's managed to not only balance working and learning, but also she said that it's definitely fed straight into her career as well, because she's improved her time management in a way that she prioritises things. So that was Ashley, and then in the same vein, Jamie is another student who started with us at level 2. He's an engineering student and he works at BAE Systems now. And he stayed with us right through, and he's doing his BE Engine Honours Mechanical now. He really is full of praise for the lecturers and their knowledge and experience. And also he said he enjoys studying in Barrow as well. So I hope you have got a few questions for us. As Ebony said, we're always contactable. You've got my email address, or you've got the info one as well. College is open now, so you can get questions to us if you prefer using the phone. But if you wanted to unmute your microphone now, or put your hand up on the chat and ask a question, ask away. I can't
Aye.
see faces. Is there anybody who's keen or?
I think it's probably worth explaining as well, Catherine. I've heard a lot of talk about levels tonight, and we assume that students understand what levels we're talking about. Just for your information, guys, when you did your GCSEs at school, assuming that you got 5 GCSEs, including maths and English, that means you would have a full level 2 qualification. What you're doing now at sixth form, your A levels, your 2-year A levels, are a level 3. If you get your A levels, you'll have a full level 3 qualification, which is what you need, a level 3, to start a HE course anywhere. And then I talked about levels 4, 5, and 6. Level 6 is a full honours degree. You go up through the levels as you go up through the years, and the modules get harder because it's going up levels all the time. But just in case, because sometimes we forget in education that we know what these are because we deal with them every day, but you guys don't. But just in case you were wondering, that's what the levels are all about.
Okay, were there any questions, Claire, or are we okay? Right, well, like we said, if there's anything else that comes to you over the course of the next few days or weeks, you can see us all now. You've got faces for our names, so just drop me an email or Ebony and Student Services, and we hope to see you on campus at some point.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.